We are live from Sandcastle Stadium in Atlantic City for an exciting Monday afternoon action game between the Atlantic Cape Community College Buccaneers and the Raritan Valley Lions. Hello, everybody. Along with Doug Stasic, I'm Vin Ebenu here for what we hope is a fun Monday afternoon baseball game. Clear skies here in Atlantic City. And, Doug, we got a couple teams looking for their first win of the season. The Buccaneers, of course, 0-6. The Lions coming in at 0-5. So one team will, of course, be able to eliminate that 0. But, both teams struggling out of the gate so far.
It's got to change someone's luck. St. Patty's Day on Thursday wasn't their luck as this one got rescheduled with a little bit of bad weather. But to turn things around, simply put, Atlantic Cape Buccaneers and Raritan, you look at the stat column, these are two teams that can hit a baseball relatively well. It all comes down to pitching. Baseball 101. See who's going to be able to deal the best cards in Atlantic City today.
Let's take a look quickly at the starting lineup for the Raritan Valley Lions. In the leadoff spot is Nick DiStefano. He'll be playing second base. The DH today will be Kevin Cruz. The center fielder is Timmy Wright. Batting cleanup is the third baseman Chris Miller. Eli Berezny will be playing left field this afternoon. At first base is Jack Anglem, and in right field is Juanjo Rodriguez. Behind the plate today is Elian Polanco. At shortstop, Odani Nicasio. And on the mound for Raritan Valley, who we'll see in the bottom of the first, is Derek Van Horn. On the mound today for the Buccaneers is Rolando Segura, taking his warm-up pitches right now. And the defense for the Buccaneers this afternoon will start behind the plate with Jack Jones doing the catching today. Omar Hernandez is at first base. Mo Anaticello is at second base. At shortstop is Luis Sano. At third base, Justin Monario. In left field, Isaiah Kennison. In center field, Kevin Foreman. And in right field is Nate Goodrich. Doing the DHing, and we'll get to that in the bottom of the first, is Dante DePalmer.
Well, the Buccaneer defense finally getting one in at home. Should be a good contest here in Region 19 action.
And as Rolando Segura finishes up his warm-ups, stepping up to the plate is the second baseman for the Raritan Valley Lions. That is Nick DiStefano. And we are underway as the pitch goes up high for a ball.
Windy day as expected here on the outskirts of Bader Field, Vin. You can see that center field camera even bouncing around a little bit on us.
Deceptive weather, beautiful blue skies, sunny skies, a little warm but definitely a little breezy as the 1-0 is caught the outside corner, and we're even at 1 apiece. But beautiful beyond the outfield wall here. You can see all the casinos in Atlantic City. And the 1-1. Little curveball goes up, and it's 2-1. There's a hot shot up the middle, fielded, and we've got our first out of the ball game.
Yeah, nice job there by Louis Sari. The fundamental 6-3 put out as he shuffles his feet towards the middle of the baseball field.
Definitely had a couple bounces up the middle there, Doug, where almost with a little more oomph, with a little bit more of that wind, it could have hit center field.
Yeah, the wind is such a factor here in Atlantic City. Out in Bader Field, most of the time it tends to blow from the ocean towards the bay, so that's right to left as you're looking at your screen.
A little sweet chin music for Kevin Cruz, a DH for the Lions. And that's 1 ball and no strikes. 1 gone here as we are underway between the Raritan Valley Lions and the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers. Both teams looking for their first win of the season. There's a shot to left field, deep to left. There it goes. Goodbye.
Wow. Absolute power bomb to left. We just talked about the wind tunnel out there. And my, oh my, you'll see the trot. He's going to touch them all, his Cruz, and that'll get the party started quite quickly. And you'll check that out on the BFA replay.
That was a rocket by Cruz to left. He got all of that one, barreled that one up.
Already lots to celebrate for the Lions. They start the first, dare I say, with a roar.
And that'll bring up the 3-hole hitter, Timmy Wright, playing the center field this afternoon. That one's up high.
Man, that was an absolute shot.
Oh, my goodness, yes. You know, he saw that first pitch of the at-bat kind of went up near his chin, and he was ready for something high. And that one's inside as well. Segura having a tough time finding his groove here in the top of the first. Little wild up top. That one's, he found the outside corner again. That worked in the first at-bat. That's the first strike on Timmy Wright.
Yeah, right. Looking to keep the party going here early in the first, the 3 spot.
1-0 Lions. 1 out here in the top of the first. That one's inside. Chase is right off the plate. You know, on the season coming into today, the team average for Raritan Valley just 227, but that home run to left as Wright draws a walk here with 1 out. That home run by Cruz certainly gets the run category and the batting average up just a little bit. We'll see what Raritan Valley can do today. And so far, Doug, Segura, after getting that first out, has struggled a little bit with command and trying to find some kind of consistency in the strike zone.
I think once you have a ball hit that hard right out of the gate, you kind of have a tendency to think like, man, this could be a dangerous place, leaving too much meat over the heart of the plate.
As Miller fouls one back way beyond our heads. I think it's still bouncing around up there. Right off first with 1 out here in the top of the first. As check off at first. Nothing doing. Segura trying to limit the damage here to 1 run. And here's the pitch to Miller. That one's outside.
Good job by Miller, recognizing opportunity to get a little bit of a hit parade started possibly.
Throw to first. Back safely. Buccaneers playing in at the corners here. Obviously Hernandez holding the runner on at first. Swing and a miss. Miller chases one off the plate. Segura hoping for a nice little ground ball double play to end the inning. That one's inside. And called strike 3.
Ooh.
Snuck the corner there.
Well, he gets the cleanup hitter, and that's a big out, especially with 2 outs here. Trying to limit the damage early in this one.
And if you're Segura, you'll take that.
All day
Even
long.
if it barely clipped the plate, you'll take that. Here's Eli Berezny, the left fielder. That one popped the mid, but it's just outside, ball 1. Runner on first, 2 outs, 1-0 Raritan Valley on the Kevin Cruz home run to left. There's a hot shot to shortstop. Nice and easy to end the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 man left. At the end of half an inning, it's Raritan Valley Lions 1 and the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers coming to bat. Welcome back to baseball here on Monday afternoon. BFA Sports, Vin Ebenu, Doug Stasic with you. Raritan Valley Lions took the lead in the top of the first on a Kevin Cruz solo home run, and that made it 1-0. And coming to bat are the Buccaneers, and leading off is the center fielder Kevin Foreman. In the two-hole today is the shortstop Luis Sawmill. Third is Omar Hernandez. Cleanup today is Justin Minario. At hitting fifth is Dante DePalma, the DH. Nate Goodrich is sixth. Jack Jones, Mo Anticellio, Isaiah Kennison, and Rolando Segura. As the Buccaneers look to answer back here in the bottom of the first, there's a hot shot foul behind the plate, 0-1.
Yeah, Kevin Foreman, absolute menace on the bases. He's been hot for the Buccaneers, and they go as he goes. So he's looking to set the table early in this one.
There's a nice pitch down the middle, 1-1, or 0-2 rather. On the mound today for the Raritan Valley Lions is Derek Van Horn. 0-2 the count to Kevin Foreman. That one's just a bit high, 1-2.
Yeah, Foreman's going to give Van Horn all he can handle. Very disciplined in his zone, doesn't usually chase outside of it. And he's going to know his role is to get on any way possible. So that means it's got to be a walk. He'll earn it.
The 1-2, there's a line shot deep into center field and losing his hat. And then getting underneath it to catch it is Timmy Wright out there in center, one away.
Yeah, Foreman got that one up into the jet stream. It caught it like a glove as far as the wind goes.
He got the wrong kind of wind there. If he got the wind Kevin Cruz got in the top of the first, that might have gone out.
Yeah, so good effort there by Foreman. Square that ball up quite nicely as Buna's own Louis Sari now steps in.
The shortstop takes strike one, just on the outside part of the plate. Buccaneers looking to answer here in the bottom of the first after the Kevin Cruz home run to deep left field in the top half of the inning. And here's the 0-1. Yeah, it's a little bit inside.
Yeah, that was a little bit of cheddar there. I didn't see anybody serving nachos, though, Vin.
I could go for some nachos right now. Take a little bite between innings, you know. There's a hot shot. Got on top of that one and pushed it foul, 1-2.
Yeah, good look at Sari. Been holding down shortstop now for his second season here at Atlantic Cape. Another guy back at Buna High School. He was often the cleanup hitter.
That one's outside. Getting a couple extra at bats, you'd think on average hitting in the two-hole.
Yeah. It's all about reps. I mean, that's why he and Foreman are a 1-2 combination, like Batman and Robin at the top of this Buccaneer lineup.
That one's chased foul, protecting the plate there. Remains 2-2.
Nice work by Sari, taking advantage of every ball that comes into that zone. You can hear the wind howling.
Oh, yeah, that wind's picking up. 2-2. Dusted him off the plate right at his feet, and the count goes full. So Sari working the count here with one out in the bottom half of the first. Full count. Chases that one foul, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, Sari hanging tough. Trying to protect the outside edge of the plate. You know, it's interesting, too, Vin, with us doing all of the Atlantic Cape home games.
That one's some sweet chin music, but he'll take the walk.
Gives a lot of teams video on the Buccaneers. So going in there, the great news is you're putting all these games on a resume of some of these other colleges are looking to pick you up and continue your career. And what you are able to prove to them is, hey, I can handle when guys have video on me and I can make adjustments.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the future bright for a lot of these young kids. 1 on, 1 out. Bottom of the first. We'll bring up Omar Hernandez. And a quick check of Sari at first. Van Horn stares down the runner, delivers home, and there's a strike.
Hernandez, probably not a fan of that call. Kind of did the look back. I talked to a lot of kids about how to handle that. If you don't agree with the call,
that one's chopped foul.
It's always okay to ask for advice or,
right,
hey, was that outside or was that was there? Yeah, okay. Just so you're kind of acknowledging the fact that I just want to know that if I get that pitch again, do I got to swing or not? That's all you can ask for.
And then I think that's the more important thing, to know what the strike zone is for that umpire on a given day.
Yeah.
And, just kind of bite your lip, take the strike zone as it is. That one's low and in the dirt.
And today's home plate umpire, Mr. Mark Rowan, behind plate, I've known him for quite a long time, does a ton of college baseball at a very high level, and he likes to communicate with the pitchers and the catchers. And he's a guy that, encourages to ask the question because he has a consistent zone, and that's what you need. As a pitcher or batter, you just want a consistent zone.
You want to know what you're going into as a pitcher and as a hitter at the plate, instead of playing guessing games with changing strike zones throughout the game.
Yeah.
Expanding and shrinking. That one's in the dirt. It's a wild pitch, pass ball, and that'll send Sorio down to second base, putting him in scoring position here with one out.
Yeah, Sari is a crafty base runner. You do not want to sleep when he's on base. He's a pest, to the point that you need to call an exterminator. He's a pest, which is good. Talk about high base running IQ. He forces a lot of teams to give more to think about, and when a pitcher has to worry about him at second base, that helps the hitter a lot.
There's such an art to base running too, as that one's outside and Hernandez walks. So 2-1 and 1 out. That how big of a lead do you take? How much of a distraction can you put in the pitcher's mind? I think at any level, So, okay, because then they're focused on you. Whether they throw down or not, you're in their head. So the more you move around on the bases, the more you're tempted to steal a base or go on a pass ball or a wild pitch. It makes you that much more unpredictable. And there's another one. And that'll move on that wild pitch. Runners up to second and third on the first pitch to Justin Minorio. So second and third, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Buccaneers looking to tie the game up, and then some.
And spirit of transparency, I've actually had the opportunity to coach both Sari and Monero, who's up the bat now.
And here's a 2-0. That one's popped high, foul, and it drops.
Wow, that was going way foul into the bleachers on the third base side, and it blows all the way back in. Amazing.
Polanco and Miller were kind of chasing that one down. It is, there's not many clouds in the sky at all today. It is pretty blue sky, so maybe they lost it in the sun. The sun's coming from behind home plate.
Yeah, anytime you have a high pop-up like that. I was at spring training on Saturday, and even the major leaguers, they were struggling with the ball being straight up in the air, and it was blowing, right to left.
There's a hot shot deep to center field. Miller, it's over his head, and that'll score a pair. Monero rides into second with a 2 RBI double.
What a big-time hit in a big-time spot for Monero. The RBI double. My, oh, my. Get a chance to potentially see that one again on the BFA instant replay as the Buccaneers celebrate into the dugout.
Timmy Wright getting his workout in center field there. He's chasing balls to left center, to right center, losing his hat both times. That one's above the head, ball one. As Dante DePalmer steps in, the DH this afternoon. 2-1 Buccaneers here in the bottom of the first. And the pitch from Van Horn goes in the dirt. It's another pass ball. That'll send Hernandez over to third. I'm sorry, Monero. So 1 on, 1 out. 2-1 Bucks here in the bottom of the first. And a 2-0 count on DePalmer. There's a swing and a miss, strike one.
got to give credit to the big man Hernandez, too. Be able to wheel his way all the way around the score. Heads-up base running, not something you usually see by guys that are big dudes, both behind the plate and the corner infielder.
You know, we talked in the top of the inning with Segura having some control issues early before he figured it out. Van Horn having even more control issues as that one goes back to the screen. And I'm thankful that that is there, Doug. That would have definitely came our way.
Yeah, that would have been a souvenir you weren't expecting.
And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. And there are 2 away.
Yeah, big-time pitch there in a big-time spot for Van Horn.
And that'll bring up Nate Goodrich.
Yeah, Goodrich has been an RBI machine thus far early in the season.
There's a strike inside part of the plate. Well, the Buccaneers have taken a 2-1 lead here in the bottom half of the first inning, looking to try to get at least one more in. That one's in the dirt, even at 1 apiece.
Look at Monero, eager to score.
There's a high fly ball deep into center field. Chasing it right, and it goes by him. That'll score a run, and rolling into second base is Nate Goodrich with an RBI double.
Great job by Goodrich. I just mentioned the fact that he absolutely has been on fire from an RBI standpoint, and, man, did he come up clutch with that delivery.
Kind of barreled that one up nice and even right to center field. 3-1 Buccaneers here in the bottom of the first. 2 outs, and that'll bring up the catcher, Jack Jones, with a man in scoring position. There's a strike. The 0-1 up just a little high. Jones will take that one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Buccaneers looking to get another one in. Keep the momentum going. There's a high pop-up. Shallow left, and that'll dunk in for a base hit.
That one's trouble.
Scoring is Goodrich. And it is a 4-1 Buccaneers lead.
They're just finding all kinds of real estate out here this afternoon, and lots for the Buccaneers to be excited about. We talked about their ability to swing the bat. Never been a question. And, man, they are sparked.
And that'll bring up Monticello. And that one goes, it's a dead ball down the first base line, which will send Jones into scoring position.
Buccaneers applying pressure in this one this afternoon. Not holding back. Trying to put the defense on its heels, force them to make plays. And thus far, that recipe seems to be working.
There's a strike. So a nice start for the Buccaneers offense here in the first inning. That one's just off the plate. Ball and a strike. As Jones takes a lead off second base. He was tempted, but that was a ball. Santicello had some good plate discipline there.
Good look at the runner in scoring position in Jones from our stadium cam.
That one's inside. Count in favor of Anicello. And he works a walk.
Good discipline there again by Anticello.
And that'll bring up Isaiah Kennison, the left fielder. 2 on, 2 out. It is a 4-1 Buccaneers lead here in the bottom of the first. Swing and a miss.
That there was a healthy hack by Kennison.
Thought about it. It did clip the plate, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, Kennison has a lot of speed in his own right, so he's a guy that might have him right here at the bottom part of the lineup, but.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. 4 runs for the Buccaneers here in the bottom of the first inning. They take charge. We go to the second. 4-1 Buccaneers. We go to the top of the second inning. Vin Ebenu, Doug Stasic with you here on BFA Sports. Buccaneers put a 4th spot on the board in the bottom of the first. They lead 4-1 over the Raritan Valley Lions. The lone run for the Lions in the first inning, the Kevin Cruz home run to left. Leading off this inning is the first baseman, Jack Anslem. And that one, he's able to duck. And that's ball 1.
Yeah, I thought we heard a sound there, but I guess it wasn't until it hit the padding.
I couldn't tell if it hit his back or if it hit a straight line to the backstop. Regardless, 1-0. And there's a hack at a ball low and away, 1-1. As the wind picks up again here at Sandcastle Stadium in Atlantic City. There's a fastball, strike 2.
So the solo shot, the only run in the first for the Lions.
1-2 is a little bit outside, 2-2. Yeah, that home run by Cruz in the top of the first for the Lions, that was a laser out of here. 2-2 on Anslem. Fastball just a little bit high, and the count has gone full. It'll be a 3-2. High pop, well behind the plate. Onto the roof here at Sandcastle Stadium, well beyond us. And we'll do it again here, 3-2 to lead off this second inning to Jack Anslem, first baseman for the Raritan Valley Lions. Up high, ball 4.
Well, if you're Raritan, that's what you want to get an inning started with. A man on base. You go back and look at the difference of having a solo shot versus a 2-run bomb in the first inning, and that could play out as this game goes on.
And good plate discipline there, too, to work the count, foul a couple pitches off. Foul that 1 pitch back. And that'll bring up Wilangel Rodriguez, the right fielder for the Lions, with 1 on. as the Lions look to answer back here in the top of the second. And some leads off first. That one a little bit outside and low to Rodriguez.
Good look here as Segura trying to manage the run game.
Checks the runner at first. Field umpire lost his head while he was trying to make a call.
Yeah, the wind is no joke here in Atlantic City. You know, for a team named the Buccaneers, you can always use that wind to help move that ship.
You know, Timmy Wright, the center fielder for the Lions, can definitely attest to that, chasing balls all over center field in that bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, he got his steps in, that's for sure.
There's a strike. Lost his hat along the way every time. One on, and nobody out here in the top of the second. It's a 1-1 count on Angel Rodriguez. On a picture-perfect day here at San Celso Stadium. There's a hot shot to right field, and it'll dunk in for a hit. Stopping at second is Anselm, and it's a single for Rodriguez, and 2-1, nobody out for Elian Polanco.
Yeah, you look here at the BFA instant replay, just a good piece of hitting. Goes the opposite way out into right field, and good heads-up base running. Now 2 on the pond.
You know, a lot of baseball players, major leaguers, make a living at hitting it the opposite way. If you could inside out that pitch, you'll get a lot of hits. And the first pitch to Polanco is in there for a strike. Doug, I got the feeling that this could potentially be a high-scoring affair.
Well, we mentioned it at the intro. We know both of these teams can hit. It's just a question of what's going to happen with the pitching, because both pitchers are doing a good job thus far of filling up the zone as well.
And the both runners for the Lions move up there after the ball goes off the glove of Jones. 2 on, nobody out. And the Lions have a chance to answer here with Elian Polanco. The 1-1. Thought about it, held back, and it's 2-1 on Polanco. Exerting some plate discipline there. Always tempting to try and, when you see a pitch come out of the pitcher's hand, try to put a good bat on it. And here's a 2-1. That one's low. Segura putting himself in a sticky situation here. 2 on, nobody out, and a 3-1 count on the hitter Polanco.
Anglin looks anxious to score here.
There's a chopper to third. That'll hold the runners, and that'll retire Polanco.
So a nice job defensively there by Monero. Check the runner, look him back, make the play. Both runners stay where they started. More importantly, they pick up and out the boot.
Couldn't ask for a better spot if you're the Buccaneers there for that ball to be put in play. Retire the first hitter of the inning, and that'll bring up Adani Nicasio, the shortstop. That one's up high. You can see the wind picking up by just looking at the jersey of Rolando Segura on the mound. That one's inside. 2-0 Nicasio.
Yeah, that one didn't miss by much. And you can see both runners at third and second.
A little bit of a lead there for Anglin. And that one's low, but it caught the corner.
Yeah, that's
it'll be a strike.
That's a nice pitch there. Again, good look from third base side. Two runners, or 2 ducks on the pond.
Swing and a miss. Ball gets by Jones. And Anglin goes back. Thought about it. for a second or two about going home, checking where the ball ended up going, but quick reaction by Jones there to keep Engelman at third. 2-2 the count on Odani Nicasio.
Looks like a Atlantic City traffic jam with all these people in the infield right now.
Swing and a miss, a changeup.
Oh, that's a big K there for Segura. You'll see it on the BFA instant replay. Oof.
That was nasty.
Yeah.
That had him fooled.
Strikeouts are nice. Swing and miss strikeouts, though, make a college coach's heart just sing.
Yes.
Love to see pitchers that can incorporate swing and miss strikeouts.
So 2 on and 2 out here in the top of the second. And there's a strike to DiStefano, who grounded to short in his first at bat.
Yeah, Segura's slider working pretty well. I mean, he's running right into the hands of his right-handed batter.
Thought about going for that one. That one drifted outside, 1-1.
A little bit of military pitching here. Left, right. Will he come back? Go back the other way.
Segura in a little bit of trouble again this inning, but he's just 1 or 2 pitches away from getting out of it. That one's laced into right field. That'll dunk in for a base hit. That'll score 1. Throw to the plate. Late. It'll score 2. It is a ribby double for DiStefano.
DiStefano with a 2-out RBI. And that one just gets a good piece of it, hits the ball where it's pitched, keeps the hands inside of the baseball, and good results. So the Lions, they are starting to pounce.
You know, Segura's going to watch the replay later and say that I jinxed him.
It could happen.
Hey.
It could happen.
That'll bring up Kevin Cruz, who hit a towering home run to left in his first at-bat. As Segura checks the runner at first. DiStefano with a huge 2 RBI single to pull the Lions within 1 here in the second. That one clips the corner. Pitching very carefully to Kevin Cruz in his second at-bat. You left one hanging the last time. That one's outside. Runner goes, and the ball goes on the lip of the center field grass. Great play there by Asori to prevent it from going even further.
Yeah, nice piece of base running. Timed up the pitcher real nice. Gets a good jump on Segura, and no question about it. Wasn't much of a chance there behind the dish.
And with the kind of bat that Cruz showed in the first inning, he didn't need DiStefano at second to line one out, but it does make it easier, especially here with 2 outs. DiStefano will be looking to go. And that one's outside. 2-1 on Cruz. With Timmy Wright, the center fielder, waiting on deck. Cruz watches that one go outside, 3-1.
A couple new faces in the Atlantic Cape lineup today. Coach Velarde continued to mix it up.
Cruz did not check his swing there, and it'll be a full count as DiStefano was dancing off second base. Three and 2 on Kevin Cruz. Swing and a miss. And Rolando Segura able to limit the damage to 2 runs in the top half of the second for the Lions. It is 4-3 Buccaneers as we go to the bottom of the second. Welcome back to Sandcastle Stadium. Vin Abenu and Doug Stasic with you here on BFA Sports as the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers battle the Raritan Valley Lions, and Bucks leading 4-3 after a very exciting first action-packed 1.5 innings so far, Doug, with a lot of offense.
Well, the Buccaneers, speaking of offense, happy to be back at the top of the lineup. They got 4 of their first at-bat. See if, after they bat it around, Kevin Foreman can get things started again here in the third. Second, my bad. Jumping ahead of myself.
He flew out to center field in his first at-bat. That one's a line shot down the left field line, and it goes foul. Got on top of that one. He saw daylight and jumped on top of that pitch.
Yeah, Foreman heating up here. That first weekend was a frigid one, but
bunts one in front of the plate, and it goes foul.
Yeah, Foreman led the Cape Atlantic League in his senior year. I was just about to say, he had a bit of a gap year last year. Returns to the field for this one, but he led all of South Jersey with hits, and he was among leaders when it had come to steals. So this dude has a high on-base percentage, has a resume with a high on-base plus slugging percentage, high base percentage of stolen bases. There's a lot that he does pretty well.
That's why he's in the leadoff spot. That one swung on and missed. And that'll be one away here in the bottom of the second. Curious as to Foreman bunting there. I mean, if he's bunting for a hit, but it was just the placement of where that bunt was instead of up the third baseline.
Yeah, I think he saw something on the defense, and you can still see where the first baseman kind of staying way back. That's just good baseball IQ, trying to take advantage of a situation like that.
1-0 on Louis Sari, who walked in the first inning and then later came around to score the first run for the Buccaneers. There's a hot shot to short. Almost eats him up. Fires over to first. Oh, and he just gets him.
What a web gem of a play.
Adani Nicasio
just picks it with the backhand, gets up, the spin, and the throw. So Louis Sari, a shortstop in his own right. I can assure you a tip of the cap is something you may see from him as he heads to the dugout. You might want to fill out a police report, though, because I think he was just robbed.
2 out, and that'll bring up Omar Hernandez. Came around to score in the first inning. That one's a high pop well behind the plate. And that'll dunk into the seats here, just taking around. Make sure it doesn't spin toward us, Doug.
Yeah.
And we're good.
Yeah, I didn't pack the glove today. So as the sun's going down behind us, behind our home plate, I'm glad I did bring the BFA hoodie, though.
There we go. There's a strike. 0-2 on Hernandez. As the Buccaneers holding on to a 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the second. That one's high. Hernandez had to duck there.
For Hernandez, last 2 years here with Atlantic Cape has been that prototypical 3- and 4-hole hitter. He can change a baseball game very quickly with a swing of the bat.
Swing and a miss.
And I apparently keep putting the kibosh on the Atlantic Cape offense as I keep gassing them up. I'm not doing any favors, I guess, with Van Horn. He must be upset with me.
Buccaneers retired in order here in the bottom of the second. They still lead 4-3 as we head toward the third here on BFA Sports. Welcome back to Sandcastle Stadium, where the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers lead the Raritan Valley Lions 4-3. Along with Doug Stasic, I'm Vin Ebenu. We're so glad you're joining us here on a Monday afternoon, a beautiful Monday, the first full day of spring. Doug, great weather, 60s, plenty of sunny skies, although the only caveat to all that is a little bit of wind gust.
Well, both these lineups are enjoying this spring warm-up here. Bats have been hot, exchanging a lot of runs, and as you said, man, 7 runs so far between these two clubs in the first couple frames here.
Timmy Wright, who's certainly done some running out there in center field up, and he's got a 2-0 count. He walked his first at bat in the first inning, but Doug, we've said it a couple times. He's seen a lot of action out there in the outfield, chasing balls towards left center and to right center, with the Buccaneers hitting some missiles out there.
Yeah, this is where they want to try to keep the ball down and do some ground balls. Take advantage of the short-handed defense. Already seen a couple nice plays by Sari and Monero on the left side. And Anticello, he is just as nasty with the glove on the right.
Right watches that one go in, and we've got a 2-2 count. It'll be Wright, Chris Miller, and Eli Berezny here in the third. That one goes outside. We've got a full count. And after the home run to Cruz in the first inning, Wright walked, Miller struck out, and Berezny hit into a 6-4. As Wright walks here to begin the third.
All right, back-to-back walks. Usually when you have the walk-a-thon, it's a good opportunity to raise some money for charity. I don't know if he had anything planned this afternoon, but he's doing a good job of getting his steps in.
A lot of walks will create a longer inning. Chris Miller was frozen in his first at-bat, striking out in the top of the first inning. As Segura checks on Timmy right there at first base. Back out taking another slight lead. There's a ground ball. Shortstop, there's one on the first. It is a double play.
Wow. The double disco by Louis Sari. He said, hey, whatever you can do, I can do, well, a little better because I'm going to get 2 outs instead of the 1. Outstanding play by one of Buna's finest.
We've seen some style points there at shortstop today between Nicasio and right there with Sari.
If you're a pitcher, that's exactly what you want to see.
Oh, yeah, pitcher's best friend. 2 out now for Eli Berezny, who hit one to shortstop in his first at-bat of the game. So Sari taking a couple steps back there at the shortstop hole. There's a strike. Jack Anglin waiting on deck. That one chases him off the plate, turns him around, and it's 2 on Berezny.
Yeah, I thought it might have got a piece of him, but not exactly.
And for all the pitches, both sides, for all the pitches going inside, these players are doing a good job of getting out of the way.
I hate to date myself. It's a Roger Clemens trick. He's like, hey, you want to get on the plate? I got something nice and tight for you.
Oh, yes. There's a hot shot to left field, but getting underneath it for the final out is Isaiah Kennison. So, damage limited. As we go to the bottom of the third, it is 4-3 Buccaneers here on BFA Sports. Welcome back to Sandcastle Stadium. Vin Avenue, Doug Stasic with you as the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers hold a 4-3 lead over the Raritan Valley Lions, and Justin Monero leads off the bottom half of the third for the Bucks.
Yeah, Monero with a little bit of hero ball in the first inning, the big double.
As that one's outside. Looking to start things off here in the bottom of the third. After we had three frames of the game filled with runs, the last couple halves have been empty as pitchers have settled down a little bit. That one's a bad luck line drive for Monero for out number one.
Yeah, a little humpback liner over there to second base. It was a good pitch by Von Horn.
And that'll bring up Dante DePalma, who struck out in his first at-bat. DePalma, the DH this afternoon. That one's inside, but it caught the plate. It dove a little bit. And that one's outside. Curious, Doug, as the clouds creep a little bit behind home plate here, they're covering where we're at. But as they head towards home plate, we'll see how it affects the guys on the field.
Yeah, you'll see, because it's going to creep up just above home plate. And as a hitter, you're going to have to start picking up the ball eventually where it kind of looks like it's coming out of a shadow or into one.
Check to swing. And 2-1 on DePalma. Buccaneers lead 4-3 here in the bottom of the third. Three and one. That one kind of went up and down like a roller coaster there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to see if I got an extra windsock later on for this microphone. Mine's howling.
That one goes in, and it hit the.
Looks like it hit the catcher right on the
foul
mat.
Tip.
I don't know if they were on the same page on that one. Plate umpire there, Mark Rowan's. The old etiquette for the guys behind the plate, taking care of one another, yeah, giving them a second to collect himself.
Polanco gather his thoughts there. There's a ground ball to third. And it gets away. As DePalma trips going around first, it was the throw by Miller offline.
Whew. Tough spot to be there if you're DePalma. Probably going to get some good ribbings from his teammates down the line. Baseball lore, that's known as sniper fire.
Yeah, I think either way, even if if DePalma didn't trip there, I don't know if he makes it to second or not. It didn't go too far down the line, so it would have been close. Regardless, 1 on, 1 out. Here is a Goodrich, and there's a strike. Goodrich had a big RBI double in the first inning. Nothing in 2 here with 1 out. As DePalma leads off first. That one's low. And we've got ourselves a 1-2 count here. Buccaneers leading 4-3, thanks in part to Goodrich's efforts in the first inning. He watches that one go low.
You know, Von Horn here, a little dangerous, not coming to a stop. You don't want to be called for that balk. You can see the runner over there at first base. He's got to pause at least for a second.
That one's off the glove of Polanco, and that'll allow DePalma to go to second base.
Yeah, that's the second pitch this inning where I felt might be an opportunity for Polanco and Von Horn to get together, because I'm not sure if they were on the same page with that pitch.
That one's low and in the dirt. And Goodrich will take the free pass. So 2 on and 1 out. And that'll bring up Jack Jones, who had himself an RBI hit in his first at bat.
Yeah, good work by Jones behind the dish in this one. A couple of changes for the Buccaneers defense, and had an opportunity to talk to Logan Petty, who's usually holding it down at first base. And he's going to be out for a while as he's got to have a procedure done, unexpected. I'm not going to give away too much because that's not my business, but he's most likely going to miss the rest of the season, and then therefore Hernandez usually see behind the plate.
Runners go. Throw down to third, and it goes into left field. That'll score 1. And that's De Palma as Goodrich finds his way over to third on the overthrow by Polanco. And the Buccaneers take a 5-3 lead.
Yeah, give credit to Atlantic Cape putting the pressure on. Got to use the bases, make them make plays. You can see Coach Velarde down there at third base. That's a very good, aggressive call, and therefore the Buccaneers taking full advantage.
That one's up high. Aggressive base running can make all the difference in a ball game with how you are on wild pitches, pass balls, overthrows like that, stealing bases. Could lead to an extra run or two. As that one goes off the head of Jones.
Well, he's a catcher, so he's used to taking a couple off the dome when he's got the helmet on, and didn't seem to hesitate there too much.
I'm surprised he got up that quickly.
Yeah, catchers are a different breed. You know, they take the foul tips off the mask. They get the balls that hit them in the dirt, bang off their arms. It's just a little different.
He tried to duck and get out of the way, but thankfully it looks like Jack Jones is all right over there at first. So runners on the corners. And Van Horn checks on Jones there at first. Runners on the corners, 1 out here in the bottom of the third. It is 5-3 Buccaneers. Looking for a little bit more here in the third. There's a nubber in front of the plate. That'll score a run, and it goes down the right field line. Making his way toward the plate is Jones. Here's the throw. He's safe.
Outstanding execution by the Buccaneers, taking full advantage. You see them pounding around the bases. Here comes the throw, and a good heads-up move as Jones, the catcher, slides to the outside of the base path and able to get in another run.
Take runs no matter how they come.
Off of a bunt, mind you. This all started with a bunt.
Right in front of the plate. 7-3 Buccaneers. Can't say it enough, Doug. The aggressive base running by the Buccaneers so far in this game is why they're out in front by so much right now.
Yeah, I was watching a game yesterday. It was NC State and Florida State. And NC State must have had some video on the Florida State pitcher, knowing that he kind of was struggling a little bit with the defense as a left-handed pitcher on the mound. And I'm not kidding you. In the first 2 or 3 innings of that game where he was out there pitching, NC State dropped 5 different bunts and ended up scoring 3 runs off of it.
Wow.
So, you know, small ball is an often forgotten art form here on the baseball field, but well done there by Mo.
There's a high fly ball into right field, settling underneath. And that's the out. Throw to the plate. Underneath and ahead of the tag. And that'll score the 8th run for the Buccaneers.
Beautiful execution there. Kennison able to get it done, and a lot of handshakes and high fives as Anicello is going to score.
So sacrifice fly for Kennison. 2 outs. We'll head to the top of the order here with Kevin Foreman, who flew out to center and struck out. There's a strike. Buccaneers have put up a 4 spot here in the bottom of the third. 0-1 to Foreman. That one clips the outside part of the plate, 0-2.
Listen, you got to give credit right now because, I mean, Von Horn has done a nice job of pounding the zone, finding strikes.
He was able to get out of the way of that one, 1-2. But he connected nicely on that first at bat where he drove it out to center field. It just didn't get into a good spot where it could fall.
Yeah, he's right on top of the baseball here.
That one's outside. 2-2, 2 out here in the bottom of the third. Buccaneers with an 8-3 lead. And they've found different ways to score today. There's a liner to second base, and that one's caught, and that'll wrap things up here for the bottom half of the third. But the Buccaneers put a 4 spot on the board. They lead 8-3 over the Raritan Valley Lions. More next here on BFA Sports. Welcome back to Sandcastle Stadium. Vin Ebnu, Doug Stasic with you. Here is the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers lead 8-3 as we head to the top of the fourth, putting up 4 runs in the bottom of that inning, Doug, without recording a hit. A couple errors, a sacrifice fly, some aggressive base running.
Well, just got to put the ball in play. Good things will happen.
First pitch to Jack Anglin to lead off the fourth is inside for ball 1. That one's chopped foul into the Buccaneers dugout. Hey, some days you'll take runs no matter how you can get them. Of course you want the hits, but hey, if you're scoring runs, you're scoring runs.
Oh, yeah.
1-1 the count. That one's just a little bit outside. Anglin walked in his last at bat in the second inning and then came around to score. There's a strike. 2-2. Thought about it, but was able to resist the temptation, and it's a full count.
Yeah, he wasn't chasing that one. Good move on his part.
Full count. There's a hot shot to shortstop. Fielded from behind and throw to first in time for the out. What a play by Sorry there at shortstop.
Wow. Sorry. All these backhands, you think he's a tennis player. But he is just absolutely, that looks sweet. Good job on the wicket and the pick. And he gets it across first base. Well played, Louis Sorry.
And that'll bring up Angel Rodriguez. Came around to score on his last at-bat. Looks at a strike there. Rodriguez up, Polanco on deck for the Lions here in the fourth. There's a line drive to right field. That'll dunk in for a base hit.
simple hitting there. Don't try to do too much with a baseball. Just get a good swing on it. Get something started here for your club.
Elian Polanco grounded to third base in his last at-bat. 1 on, 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Dancing a little bit off first there, Rodriguez. Checked back. Segura working with an 8-3 lead here in the top of the fourth. Throws over to first again. And Rodriguez gets back. Doug Segura has gotten himself into and out of trouble, only, allowing 3 runs. He's had to work a little bit for it today, but he's been able to put that Houdini into effect as that one's chopped into right center field for a base hit. Over the head of DiStefano there, and 2 on and 1 out.
So don't look now, but you got back-to-back hits for the Lions trying to get something going. Got one arm up in the bullpen for Atlantic Cape. Be interesting to see if they decide to go there soon.
Bottom of the order here with Odani Nicasio, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat in the second inning. 2 on, 1 out here in the top of the fourth. As there's a strike. Lions looking to answer back again here in the top of the fourth. It'll be an 0-1. Swing and a miss. He tips it into the glove, rather. Strike nonetheless, and it's 0-2. Nicasio's got a couple guys on base, looking to drive them in as Segura pitch is outside, and they're, I thought they were going to talk that one over. Just going to toss the ball back.
There's a little bit of action, it looks like, in the bullpen. See who the mystery caller is.
And if Segura can get himself out of this jam here in the fourth.
Oh.
And that's not going to help as he plunks Nicasio in the back. That'll load the bases.
So,
bases loaded, 1 out, and that'll bring up second baseman DiStefano.
So quickly the bases loaded. 2 hits and a hit batsman. Little activity in the Atlantic Cape bullpen.
Buccaneers with an 8-3 lead here in the top of the fourth. Bases loaded. DiStefano grounded to short and had an RBI single in his last at-bat. There's a line drive into right. That'll dunk in for a base hit.
Gotta get the ball in.
It'll only score 1 run. It is an RBI single for Nick DiStefano, and the Lions pull to within 4.
So they keep going to the right side of the field. That's 3 hits this inning, and you're going to see Coach Rod Velarde go out there, have a conversation with his pitcher. The Buccaneers with a pretty nice lead that they had built up, but this many guys on base, don't want to take any chances, especially now as they're going through the lineup as they get back to the top. Now you're going through a third time, and a lot of times you get a third look at a potential hitter or a pitcher.
Right.
You see the ball a little bit better than a coach on the other dugout wants that to be.
And so this is now the through the third time through the order. Kevin Cruz coming up. That could also be why Segura got a mound visit there. 1 out. Bases remain loaded. Cruz homered in his first at bat. Looks at one inside there for a ball. Yeah. And struck out in his second at bat.
Another reason that they may, in fact, want to have a visit, knowing that this guy did some damage the last time.
And that was when Segura fell into a little bit of trouble in the first inning, and then he found a way to get out of it as Cruz swings and misses there. He's kind of labored in each and every inning, Doug, and he's found a way to get through for the most part. 3 runs up until this inning. Pitch to Cruz is up, and that's a ball. Segura needs to throw strikes, but trying to be smart about location, especially to a hitter like Kevin Cruz. There's a long fly ball to left field. That ball is high. It is foul.
Wow. Won't find many strikes longer than that one, and a sigh of relief in a lot of capacities. You see here on the BFA instant replay as it goes all the way into the corner, and Cruz, he got a hold of that one.
They don't make foul balls much scarier than that. Here's the pitch to Cruz. A little softer touch as he hits one out to center field. Let's see if it'll score the runner. Throw to the plate. Play at the plate. He is out at the plate.
What a fire hose by Kevin Foreman. Frozen rope. This one is right on the money. Perfectly thrown. Perfectly caught on the hop by Jones. And the Buccaneers backing up their pitcher Segura with some big-time defense here in Atlantic City.
So the top of the fourth could have been a lot more if that Cruz fly ball went somewhere else, but it is 8-4 Buccaneers as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Welcome back to Sandcastle Stadium, where the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers lead the Raritan Valley Lions 8-4. As we head into the bottom of the fourth inning, the shortstop, will lead off here in the fourth. He walked and scored in his first plate appearance and then grounded to short in his last appearance and takes a strike here to begin the bottom of the fourth. What a way to end the last half of the inning. As that one swung on a miss by Sorry. The fly ball by Cruz hit a foul, hit a home run, but it went foul. The next pitch, he drove one out to center field. And Polanco was thrown out at the plate trying to score on a possible sac fly. There's ball 1 to Sorry. And just an outstanding throw by Kevin Foreman to get Polanco at the plate. There's a hot shot, line drive deep into center field, and that one is gone! Luis Sorry with a solo home run here in the bottom of the fourth. Gets that run right back for the Bucs. He absolutely tattooed that ball to the left center field, over the left center field wall, right where the scoreboard is, giving the Buccaneers a 9-4 lead. Impressive hitting from Luis Sorry, the shortstop. That'll bring up Omar Hernandez, who scored in his first at bat, struck out swinging in his last plate appearance. Takes a strike there. Takes a little chin music there, 1-1. That one swung and a miss, 1-2. Hernandez up, Monero on deck. The 1-2 bounces in the dirt and heads toward the screen, 2-2 on Omar Hernandez. Buccaneers have a 9-4 lead here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. The 2-2 popped up high into right field. Coming on to make the catch is Wilangel Rodriguez, and that will be the first down of the bottom of the fourth. Got under it just a little bit as he flew it out to right. And that'll send Justin Monero to the plate. He walked. He had a RBI hit double in the first inning, and then he had a line drive snagged at second base in his last at-bat as that one's grounded to third base. Miller fires one over, and there are two away. That'll bring up Dante DePalma, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat back in the first inning and reached on an E5 in the third. Ended up making it all the way over to third base. 9-4 Buccaneers here in the bottom of the fourth, 2 outs, and the first pitch to DePalma is low and away, ball one. Swung on a miss. So far this inning, the home run by Sari, the fly out to right by Hernandez, and Monero grounded out to third. And a 2-1 count on DePalma.
Yeah, guy goes to get a drink, and next thing you know, Sari just hitting solo bombs.
It was a nice home run right to the left center field, right over the left center field wall there, right by the scoreboard. It was a little bit of a sneaky home run. It had that line drive type of vibe to it, and then ended up finding a hole over the fence as DePalma goes down looking. 1 run on 1 big hit. The home run by Sari to give the Buccaneers a 9-4 lead after 4 innings right here on BFA Sports.
It's more than a game. It's more than just practice. It's more than coaching.
It's more than learning.
It's more than a team.
Es más que el béisbol.
Being a good teammate.
Being responsible.
It's being a hard worker.
It's learning how to communicate.
It's becoming the best version of myself.
It's more than baseball. It's a program that transforms lives.
And that's why we need your help to transform the baseball field at Atlantic Cape that has gone unused for years. Through the Bring It Home Capital campaign, we'll work to restore and revitalize the field on campus, giving the Buccaneers a true home field advantage, where we can honor their hard work and dedication. We don't just teach these young men how to be better ball players, we teach them how to be better people, instilling values like responsibility, commitment, and dependability. Our players understand that what happens on the field is only part of the picture. What they do in the classroom, at home, and in their communities is just as important as being a well-rounded athlete. Help us bring it.
Welcome back to Sandcastle Stadium. Vin Abenu, Doug Stasic with you here on a beautiful Monday afternoon. A little bit of a breezy one, but sunny and 60s nonetheless. And it's certainly a beautiful afternoon for the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers, who have a 9-4 lead here as we enter into the top of the fifth. And center fielder Timmy Wright up for his third plate appearance. He struck out looking in the first and grounded out to shortstop in the third inning. check that. He walked in the first. I was looking at Chris Miller's stats. Walked in the first and reached on a single in the third. He grounds one in the hole. The shortstop fires, and he beats it out for an infield single. Nice stop by Sorry there at shortstop, but could not beat the speeding right.
Yeah, Sorry, been lethal with the backhand all afternoon long. But Wright, he's already been to first base twice before this at-bat, but this time he earns his keep. Infield single, and just in time as the Lions trying to claw their way back in.
That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Chris Miller. With a runner on first here in the top of the fifth. Lions looking to rally back into it. And Segura, who found his way out of a jam in the last half inning, back out there here for the fifth. And a little conversation sidebar here in front of the Buccaneers dugout.
Okay. Umpire.
I think he's checking on the possible balk.
Yeah, it looks like Velarde is having a conversation with Mark Rowan. I think a little bit of debate of his movement towards first base, knowing that Wright is over there. Especially is that
almost like a warning.
Yeah, it's a discussion about is he pitching out of the hybrid or not. You can't pitch out of the hybrid. The hybrid is you're not really in the stretch and you're not really in the windup, so you have a blended version, and that is an illegal move. You can't do that.
Checks the runner at first, and Wright gets back.
Well, credit to the umpire crew. Instead of just automatically going to the balk, at least have the conversation and give some direction to the catcher and the pitcher.
Sure. The instructional part of it. As that one goes back to the backstop there, gets by Jones, and that'll allow Timmy Wright to get to second base.
Yeah, got to be a wall, as they like to say.
Definitely enough backstop there to hustle on down. And Timmy Wright, plenty of speed. He's shown that with his work today in center field alone. There's a hot shot down the line and fair. Timmy Wright being waved around third. He'll score without a throw. It is an RBI single by Chris Miller, and the Buccaneers now have a 9-5 lead.
Yeah, good piece of hitting. That one just came inside, and a nice turn on the ball by Miller, and a no-doubter as Wright had a fantastic read on the ball, and he's able to score and close the gap here.
And that looks like that'll do it for Rolando Segura.
Yeah, give Segura a hand as he comes off of the hill. Well deserved. As he comes back in, and it looked like, in fact, it is going to be Colin Bradley coming in for the pitching change for the Buccaneers. He was the mystery man that we couldn't find his jersey number on as he was warming up just about an inning ago.
Sneaky bullpen down there down the left field line there. So 4+ innings in the books for Segura, 5 runs. The runner on first, Miller, his responsibility as he exits the game.
Give the Buccaneer lineup a ton of credit as they were extremely aggressive in swinging at balls that they found in the zone. A little bit of a tough inning, in all fairness, for Raritan, as from a defensive standpoint. So you talk about Buccaneers, Segura did a nice job, flooded the zone. Buccaneers responded, were able to score a bunch of runs for them. And as far as Raritan goes, a little bit of the opposite. So they didn't necessarily have the defense they needed the one inning while the Buccaneers were at it, and now they find themselves in a hole. But credit to them as they're going through this lineup yet one more time. I think Coach Velarde had decided it's time for a change.
Segura labored. It was not an easy outing for him today. 4+, 5 runs. He definitely had to battle through each and every inning. There was a scoreless frame in there, but he had constantly had runners on base. He had the home run in the first to Cruz, a walk along the way, a few hits, finding himself in a jam. Struggled especially early on with trying to find the plate. It sent Jack Jones into retreat mode.
Yeah, that third trip through seemed to be the difference maker. They got a hold of him for a few hits in that last frame, and I think Coach Velarde, not 100% sure of what that pitch count was right now, but I had to imagine he was probably getting a little bit long in the tooth.
So 1 on, nobody out, and that'll bring up the number 5 hitter, Eli Berezny, who grounded to short in the first and then flew out to left field in the third inning. Takes a strike there. Berezny up, Jack Anglem on deck for the Lions, looking to rally back into it. Down 9-5 here in the fifth. And there's a strike. So Bradley coming in, firing strikes. 0-2 the count. Berezny chops one in front of the plate. It's foul. Looks like it hit off the plate. And it'll remain 0-2. Actually, I think it might have hit him in the foot. I just heard him say, ow.
Yeah.
So that's a tough place to foul one off. You know, the foot, the shin, especially with no protection there, that's going to leave a little bit of a mark. He fouls one back to the screen here and stays alive. 0-2 remains the count on Eli Berezny. With Chris Miller, who just drove in a run that knocked Segura out of the game on first. A little bit of a lead. There's a breaking ball outside. Had a little bit of bite, but not enough for their strike zone there. It'll be a 1-2. Up high.
Yeah, Bradley always does a real good job flushing the zone. Coach Jeff Ball liking what he's seen on the scoreboard so far.
2-2. Inside, strike 3.
Oh, that was...
Berezny not a fan, to say the least, of that call.
Well, that was a sweet pitch, and that one, I don't know how he let off of it, but he somehow managed to.
Froze him there.
Bang.
And so that'll bring up Jack Anglem, who walked and then hit one to shortstop. In at the corners here, the Buccaneers are. That's in the dirt, 1-0. Willangel Rodriguez on deck for the Lions. Buccaneers lead 9-5. 1 out here in the top of the fifth. Runner on first. And that one goes back to the screen. Doug, you were ready to catch that one. So
yeah.
I like how prepared you are.
I thought about it. I got the hand up.
Be like Spider-Man there. Climb the netting.
Yeah.
I got it.
As we like to say, our equipment's allergic to a few things. Water and baseballs.
Yeah, not great. Not great. Here's the 1-1. That one's over the head and of Anglin there, and that'll send Miller down to second base. Colin Bradley in relief of Segura here in the top of the fifth inning. That runner on second is Segura's responsibility. That pitch is outside. 3-1 on Jack Anglin. Bradley bounces back, throws a strike. 3-2. Full count pitch, up and in, and Anglin will take the free pass. And that'll bring up Willangel Rodriguez, who singled in his last at-bat and then came around to score. So 2-1, 1 out here in the fifth. There's a chopper to short. Let's see if they could turn two. There's one. There's two. It is an inning-ending double play.
Heads up by Sorry. He knew what he needed. Trust the fact that Anicello would be there, and the 6-4-3 double disco.
So 9-5 Buccaneers, a damage limited here in the top of the fifth. We go to the bottom half with the Bucs have an opportunity to answer back right here on BFA Sports. Welcome back to Sandcastle Stadium. Vin Ebenu, Doug Stasic with you here, and we thank you for joining us here on a Monday afternoon on BFA Sports, where the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers lead the Raritan Valley Lions 9-5 as we enter into the bottom half of the fifth inning, where Nate Goodrich, the right fielder for the Bucs, steps up to the plate at an RBI double in the first, came around to score again in the third. Bunts one there on the first pitch, but nubs it foul, 0-1.
Yeah, Goodrich seeing the ball relatively well. Has been lightning quick on the bases. RBIs, runs scored, high on base percentage. I mean, not much more you can ask for.
Swing and a miss. Van Horn powered one by Goodrich there. 0-2.
Interesting. They're still staying with Van Horn.
I was thinking the same thing kind of as Goodrich swings and misses there. And the put out 2-3 for out number one, although that was close.
That was a bit closer than it needed to be. Good hustle, though, by Goodrich.
Yeah, Von Horn's taking his lumps today on the Buccaneers' bats, but mostly, Doug, I think, on their base running abilities. You know, the Buccaneers have scored a lot of runs either on pass balls, overthrows, stealing bases. So they put a lot of pressure on Von Horn. He's taking a beating out there, but he's still in there trying to get through 5. Jack Jones here up with one out as he looks at ball 1. Jones had an RBI single back in the first. He was hit by a pitch in the head back in the third inning, but hopped up. Tough Jack Jones ran down to first base and ended up scoring a run.
Yeah, he stood his ground. I mean, the one thing is he's willing to do whatever it takes for his squad move ahead here, try to get their first win on the season.
2-1 now on Jones. Both teams coming into today looking for that win, number 1. Buccaneers out in front right now here in the bottom half of the fifth. Swing and a miss. And 2-2 on Jones. With Mo Antonicello up on deck. Two. Swing and a miss.
Good put-out pitch there by Von Horn. Climbed the ladder. Just got him to go out of the zone. Sometimes you got to change the eye level, give him something a little bit different.
Got him to chase that high cheddar.
But effective. That's right.
2 down here in the bottom of the fifth. That'll bring up Mo Antonicello. Reaching his first plate appearance. And his second, he reached on an E2 and came around to score back in the third inning. That one clips the inside corner, 1-1. Isaiah Kennison up next. Strikeout and a sacrifice fly for him. Hoping to get in a bat here in the fifth. as the shadows kind of creep towards home plate a little bit more. And that one's just a little bit high.
It's got good movement. I mean, horizontal action on the baseball for Von Horn. That's not an easy pitch to hit. Doesn't stay across the plate long.
That one's driven foul into the suite level here at Sandcastle Stadium. Far away from us, though.
Tickets still available.
Antonicello looking to make something happen here in the third. Swings and misses, and that'll be strike 3. So 1, 2, 3 go the Buccaneers here in the bottom half of the fifth. They still lead, though. It is 9-5 as we head to inning number 6 on BFA Sports. Welcome back to Sandcastle Stadium. Vin Ebenu, Doug Stasic with you on BFA Sports here. Stasic, excuse me, I forgot your name here in the 6th inning.
You're good to go.
Buccaneers lead, though, 9-5.
Well, they brought Bradley in. You know, he's a guy that can start and relief, whatever it needs to be. So I'm sure he's got more than enough fuel in the tank, even when it's $4.16 a gallon to finish this one, if need be. But Bradley does a really nice job. He's got a couple of good pitches, mixes up 3 for the most part. So this is going to be a good move here to almost have Raritan have to reset their look and get their timing all redone.
And then 0-1 pitch to Polanco, grounded foul, 0-2. That was a nice double play on behalf of the Buccaneers. The nice 6-4-3 that Wilongo Rodriguez hit into last inning. Nice from Sori to Antonicello, and then over to Hernandez to end that threat last inning for the Bucs. As this one's hit right back to the pitcher. He jumped rope, Bradley did, and regained it, picked up the ball, brought it over to first, 1 away.
Well, PFP, you got to field your own position as a pitcher. This one came in hot. Well, look at that. I mean, my oh my.
Cat skills.
A little web gem from the pitcher. You don't see
There
that
we
every
go,
day
yeah.
with the 1-3 put out.
That'll bring up Adani Nicasio, who struck out swinging in the 2nd inning, and then reached second back in the 4th after getting a hit.
You mentioned some good glove work with Hernandez being the first baseman.
Yes.
I started a thought a couple of innings ago, but Logan Petty, normally first baseman, he's got to have a procedure, going to be out for the rest of the year. And as such, you usually see Hernandez a lot behind the plate. So now you got Jones behind the plate, got Hernandez at first, and both these gentlemen have stepped it up today and come up some really nice defensive plays.
And it's helped keep the Lions in check there. As that one's up and tight, did it hit him?
It's saying that he did.
Well, yep. And that'll send Nicasio down to first base with 1 out.
Oh, might have a chance to slow it down.
Let's
There's
see.
there's the web gem.
Yep.
And then coming up after
Nice
that
little play
one,
by Bradley.
might have a chance to.
1 on, 1 out here in the 6th.
We'll see if we can pull that one back for you.
Nick DiStefano, couple RBIs in the day after grounding to short back in the 1st inning. 1 on, 1 out here in the top half of the 6th. Bradley deals. Breaking ball falls inside. DeStefano able to back up. 1-0. As Nicasio starts to take a little bit of a lead off first. There's a chopper into right center for a base hit. Because of how shallow that was, that means Nicasio's got to stop at second, but it is a one-out single for DeStefano, so 2 on, 1 out, and that'll bring up Kevin Cruz.
You got to get to work at some point, and it usually starts to create a rally one base at a time. So a couple of ducks on the pond with just the 1 out. Back in the top part of the order, this is where you could do some damage, and you do it quickly.
Cruz had that home run to left in the first, struck out in the second, flew out to center in the fourth, and then that turned out to be an inning-ending double play as Polanco tried to score. 1-0 here to Cruz in at bat number 4 here in the top half of the 6th with 2 men on base. There's a line shot to left field. That'll drop in for a hit. Racing around third is Nicasio to score. DeStefano holds up at second. It is an RBI single for Kevin Cruz, and the Bucs now lead 9-6.
Cruz absolutely has been on fire. Gets the RBI, and wouldn't you know, Raritan are looking to get right back in this, and they keep squeezing the lead little by little.
That'll bring up the center fielder, Timmy Wright. Been on base in all 3 trips today. Backs up a little bit and takes ball 1.
That was a good piece of hitting.
DeStefano off second, Cruz off first. 1 out, and there's a fly ball into center field, and making the catch is Foreman as DeStefano tags up and goes to third.
So DeStefano avoided some sniper fire, and you got to think in his mind, seeing what Foreman did a few innings ago to throw a guy out at home.
Oh, yes, he's got the arm strength.
You're not going to – you might want to think twice about that one, but nonetheless.
Gives a player pause when you see that kind of arm. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Chris Miller. Struck out, grounded to short, and hit an RBI single in his last at bat. It is 9-6 Bucs. 1 out here in the top half of the 6th. Swing and a miss. Bradley fires one in there, strike 1. Runners on the corners here for the Lions. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count on Miller. DeStefano leads off third, Cruz off first after driving in another run just a couple moments ago. Pitch is in the dirt, goes to the backstop. DeStefano racing on home. He'll score without a throw. Cruz dancing around second. He'll stay there. It is another run for the Lions. They close the gap to 2. It is 9-7 Buccaneers.
Yeah, this is where Atlantic Cape has to step it up defensively, knowing that there's runners on base, multiple guys you got to be concerned about. This is where you got to be big. This is where balls can't get by. This is where you don't make overthrows. Get to the bottom half of the inning, put some more runs on the board.
Pitch to Miller, called, strike 3. So the Lions get something back there. It's now 9-7 as you look at that last pitch, the frozen rope to home plate. 9-7 Buccaneers as we head toward the bottom of the 6th here on BFA Sports. Welcome back to Sandcastle Stadium. Vin Ebenu, Doug Stasic with you as the Buccaneers lead 9-7, and we have a pitching change for the Raritan Valley Lions as we enter into the bottom half of the sixth inning. That is Connor Egan for the Lions. And, Doug, we were talking in the last inning how Von Horn was taking his lumps this game by the Buccaneers, giving up the 9 runs, but it was that base running, it was the errors. So Von Horn was out there for a while and took one for the team, so to speak, but being relieved of his duties here in the sixth.
Yeah, I mean, Von Horn in the first inning gave up a couple of walks. There was that crazy inning with some errors in the field, but he ended up with the game 8 strikeouts. So he did a nice job, kept his team in the game, and gives way to Egan, who's hoping that he can keep the door shut and the Lion bats get a little hotter.
Isaiah Kennison leading off here in the bottom half of the sixth. He struck out in the first, had a sac fly back in the third. Takes a strike there, 1-1. It'll be Kennison, Foreman, and Sorry here in the sixth. The 1-1 up high. It's been a back and forth, a high-scoring game to say the least, but it's been kind of like that back and forth action there too. Buccaneers have been able to hold on to a lead as Kennison gets plunked. And that'll be the first base runner of the inning.
Yeah, Kennison thought about getting out of the way. The problem was he had nowhere to go. So you just kind of take your lumps.
So many places you can go.
Yeah, he goes, oh, do I duck? Do I step out of the way? I'll just take it. And you know what? If you're going to get hit with a pitch, why not be a breaking ball?
Right. Kennison takes a lead off of first as Kevin Foreman steps up to the plate. Flew out to center, struck out, and hit a liner to second base. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Takes a strike there, 0-1.
Yeah, a lot of respect as Egan starts him backwards with a breaking pitch for first one. Not trying to give him something to look at, get his timing. But not going to have a choice here with a runner on base. Going to have to come at him.
Shows bunt here, and the pitch is a wild pitch. That will allow Kennison to get to second. He's racing toward third. Throw to third. Not in time. And was trying to go after his helmet without calling time.
He thought the ball got past the fielder and didn't realize he had it. And Coach Velarde quickly alerted him and said, oh, he still has the baseball.
You should stay here. Miller had to come up and grab that one off of third base. So that allowed Kennison to get to third base now, so nobody out and a runner on third.
It's going to be a visit to the mound. Bit of a situation, Coach Joe and crew.
They're going to definitely want to talk that one over. And kudos to Isaiah Kennison there for the speed and the baseball IQ, not just to get to second base, but to get to third, knowing where the ball was, seeing where it was, and being able to motor on in.
Yeah, and this is how you set the table. I mean, if you're Coach Rodney Velarde of Atlantic Cape, the guy with a bat in his hand is exactly where you want to be at this very moment. Because Kennison has wheels. I had said, hey, there's a lot of lineups. Wouldn't be surprised if you see this guy in a leadoff position. But he and Kevin Foreman, with their speed back-to-back, that is a very, very tough situation to defend. It puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
Mound meeting is over, and that will allow Foreman to step back into the box. Looking at a 1-1 count here in the bottom of the sixth. Nobody out. Isaiah Kennison took 2 bags on that stolen base. He leads off at third. Foreman swings and hits a high fly ball deep to left field. There it goes. It is off the wall.
You're going to watch Foreman be able to just showcase his blend of speed and power on this one. Absolutely tomahawks it deep in the left field. Thought it might have had a chance and ran out of real estate right on the bottom of the fence.
And he'll take the RBI double. He hit that. He tattooed that one. Just didn't have enough. You know, the wind stopped blowing a little while ago, so I think Foreman had a little bit of wind.
Yeah, he squared up a couple nice baseballs early on, and then finally got the barrel he was looking for.
Had that fly out to center back in the first where he hit that one hard. And there's a stolen base. Easy for Kevin Foreman. Not paying any attention to him was Egan. And Foreman took that one with ease. Yeah. Although he still slid for good measure.
Well, want to, again, try to kind of bait the catcher into making a throw there. Right? Make him think that, hey, there's an absolute chance he might get me. Not going to happen. Not with his speed. Not on his best day. But
caught the defense off guard there. Shows bunt. And bunts one foul. Does Sorry. He had the walk in the first. Ground ball to second ground ball to short in the second, and had the home run in the fourth. 10-7 Buccaneers here in the bottom half of the sixth.
Talk about a team player. You don't see that every day. Guy hits a home run, his last at bat, comes to square a bunt, score Kevin Foreman in the next.
There's a long fly ball to left field. Does it have the distance? It does not. It bounces off the wall, but that'll be enough to score Kevin Foreman. And rolling into second base with an RBI double is Luis Sorry. It is 11-7 Buccaneers.
Well, back-to-back doubles. That's going to do some damage in a scorebook every day that ends in a Y. 7-11.
I like that. So Buccaneers answer back with a couple here in the bottom half of the sixth. It'll bring up the number 3 hole hitter, Omar Hernandez. Scored in the first, struck out in the second, and had a fly out to right field in his last at bat. A check there on Sorry. He gets back. Egan with a quick move there.
Well, if he wasn't sure what kind of damage this Buccaneer offense could do and what they could do on the base path, I'm pretty sure he's aware now.
Oh, yes. That one's outside. Buccaneers have run the bases really well today, and it's certainly led to most of their runs, causing a lot of pressure on the Lions pitching, on their defense, running the bases smart, playing smart baseball. It'll be a 1-0 to Hernandez. That one's outside. Monero on deck. It'll be a 2-0 to Hernandez. That one just outside. Polanco trying to frame it there and did not get the call for the Lions. It is 3-0.
That's a 50-50 pitch. Good call nonetheless. Mark Rowan been very consistent in the zone this afternoon.
Pickoff played his second, and diving back is Sorry.
He would dub the obligatory throw. Didn't look like he had a lot of mustard on that one.
Just checking to, keep him in check. 3-0 the count on Hernandez. Buccaneers with a couple here in the sixth. That one's up high, and Hernandez will take the walk. Bringing up the cleanup hitter, Justin Monero. Had a big hit, run-driving double in the first. Lined out to second base in the third, and grounded out to third base back in the fourth inning. He's got a couple guys on base here, runners on first and second, nobody out. And he got caught. Sorry, caught between bases, and they've got him in a pickle. Trying to make his way back to second, still alive.
I've seen Sorry do this for years.
And they got him. But Sorry being in that rundown allowed Hernandez to get to second base.
Yeah, I mean, Sorry knew he was stuck there, but I go back to the baseball IQ. He was trying to bait them into throwing the ball more than just the 2 or 3 throws because he knows that I might be stuck, but every time you throw the baseball, there's a higher probability that I might actually get you to make a mistake, and then I'm going to take third base. So crafty. Coach Velarde at the end of the day not going to be thrilled about it, but nonetheless, that's a good heads-up play by him being in that spot.
Ball to Monero.
Just curious, Vin, how do you mark that down in your book? That's a lot of numbers.
Good question. There was a lot of involvement there.
You're like, oh, we got the 1, we got the 4, we got a 5, we got a 6, a 5, and then finally, I think it was a 4. I don't know.
It was mostly between second, short, and third there. They all got involved there. Yeah, I'm surprised Polanco. We didn't get to a point where Polanco, the catcher, had to run down there.
Yeah.
There's a strike. 2-1 on Monero.
It's like an old, really dating ourselves, the Naked Gun 2.5 movie where everybody gets in on the play. It's like, hey, we're going to win a rundown. You got the popcorn vendor running through.
The umpires have Maroney in a
umpire.
rundown. Oh, I love that movie. That pitch outside. I'd love to see an umpire, and that one's thrown down to second, and getting to third on the steal is Hernandez. A heads-up base running for him.
The big man, Hernandez,
this
showing
on replay.
Showing off the wheels. Well, he knew that they were going to throw behind him, and when that happens, I don't know, if 1 to 10, I think we got to give him about a 3.5 on the dive.
I'll go with that.
And now,
as Miller had to leap to grab the throw. Another sidebar here. Wonder if it's about the pitcher, Egan, on the mound. Did he balk?
Yeah, he's
I gather that's the question.
definitely questioning that he turned to go to home and was still to make a throw, but difference of opinion. But a seasoned coach move, you got to at least ask the question.
Sure.
And by the looks of things, it seems like Coach Rodney Velarde is okay with the answer.
It's been a very lengthy at-bat in some ways for Monero here with the base running, the pickoff plays, the rundown. So
Yeah.
he's like, can I just get a hit?
I just want to swing the bat here.
He's got to get back in there, get resettled. Egan will deliver the 2-1. That one's in, 3-1. That one's in the dirt, and Monero, after all that time, Doug, will work a walk.
Yeah.
I'll take it. He gets on base.
Gotta work your pitcher, gotta work the count. Looks like we're gonna have a pinch hitter here. The umpire.
That is Omar Luis. For Dante DePalma.
Yeah, Luis, usually see him play a little bit of left field in his own right. Good power hitter. Coach likes the left-handed bat against the righty in this spot, especially with 1 out and runners on the right side.
And that one's in the dirt. Gets by Polanco to allow the runners to move up.
So Hernandez now is at third, but did he get sent back? They sent him back.
Oh, they did, yes.
You don't see that every day.
Because he did get to third, I guess, because of the move by Egan. Two on, 1 out. And the pitch to Luis is in the dirt. Polanco steps on it. He thought it got back further in the backstop than it did. And that'll hold the runners there. Two 2-0 the count on Omar Luis, the pinch hitter, pinch hitting for Dante DePalma, who went 0 for 3. Puts out the bat, is able to hold it off, and works a 3-0 count.
Well, we'll see if we can get some insight from the umpire crew between innings about the Hernandez going back. I'm curious to hear what that call was.
Same here. Yeah. It'll be a 3-0 swung on and missed. Luis trying to hit that one to the right center field gap is where his bat was.
Yeah, I mean,
which is a nice spot. There's plenty of opening out there in right center.
yeah, he could have hit it out to the Tropicana with the way he swung that bat.
It'll be a 3-1. Fouled off at the plate. Full count. As you got Sorry dancing off a second there. 2 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. The Buccaneers lead 11-7. Called strike 3.
It's a big out there. See it on the BFA replay. Oh, that's just a good location. Good location. Just like
nothing
real
you could do with that.
Indeed.
That'll bring up Nate Goodrich here with 2 outs and runners in 2nd and 3rd. Goodrich scored a couple runs in his last at bat. Struck out. And he'll get first base here. And that'll load the bases with 2 outs. For Jack Jones, an RBI single back in the 1st inning, hit by a pitch in the 3rd and struck out in the 5th.
Yeah, this inning has gotten a little long. Seems like it was a long time ago since Kennison started things off being hit by that pitch.
Connor Egan had come in relief of Von Horn. Jack Jones looking to open back up the lead here in the bottom of the 6th for the Buccaneers. Pickoff play to second, and it's going to lead to a run coming home. Throw to the plate, safe.
Hernandez, the big fella.
Motoring on home as runners move up.
As soon as he saw that ball go to second base, he was in there. Good slide, good finish, and another run.
That's the way to get a run. 2nd and 3rd now, 2 out. Jones waiting the first pitch of the at-bat.
There's those shadows you were referring to earlier, man. They're creeping up past the batter's box.
Jones sees one come on in. You know, we were talking, you brought up the point earlier how it would affect the hitters. I wonder how much it's affecting Connor Egan right now. That one's chopped foul.
Well, Egan now, he's in a position where he's throwing quite a few pitches. And Atlantic Cape is just working counts. I mean, it's a combination of things. A couple walks, couple hit by pitches, back-to-back doubles. Did get him looking 1 strikeout.
Takes that one up high.
But he's going to have to flood the zone and trust this defense can get him a ground ball.
2-1 to Jack Jones. Swing and a miss. Still, though, with Hernandez scoring the 12th run for the Buccaneers, just the latest example in this afternoon's game of how aggressive the Buccaneers have been on the base paths today. As Jones swings and misses for strike 3. Buccaneers get a couple more, expand the lead to 12-7 here after 6th innings. 12-7 Bucks on BFA Sports. Welcome back to Sandcastle Stadium. Ben Ebnu, Doug Stasic with you here as we enter inning number 7. The Buccaneers have a 12-7 lead. Very aggressive base running today, and it's played to the advantage of the home team. Eli Berezny leads off for Raritan Valley here in the top half of the 7th inning with the Lions trailing by 5. There's a fly ball deep into right field. And there's one away. As Goodrich makes the catch. And that'll bring up Jack Anglem, who walked and scored, grounded out, and walked.
So we talked about the Hernandez being sent back
to
second base. So I checked with the home plate umpire.
Okay.
And he said,
as that pitch is up high.
He said that on the throw down to third base, he ended up in the way inadvertently, so it was umpire interference, so the runner had to go back.
Well, that explains that. There's a hot shot foul into the Buccaneers dugout. They'd play jump rope there.
Some good footwork by the Buccaneers.
Everybody cut loose, Doug.
I didn't see Kevin Bacon in the house. I mean, he's probably been in Atlantic City a few times. I don't think he made it to the Sandcastle this afternoon, though.
Maybe he's still out in the Tropicana. 3-1 the count on Jack Anglem. There's a high fly ball deep to left field. And that one is gone, a home run.
Big time blast in a big spot. Talk about give your team a spark. He turned on that one.
And look at that. Just over the wall and left. Kennison gave it a run, though. Gave it a jump, too. Just couldn't come down with it. It is 12-8 now. Buccaneers over the Lions after the solo home run by Jack Anglem. And that'll bring up Wilangel Rodriguez. Rodriguez has scored a couple runs, including after getting a single, and then in his last at bat in the 5th inning, hit into a 6-4-3 inning ending double play. Trying to help the Lions push back and get a couple more runs here in the top half of the 7th. That one's popped up outside first base. Giving it a look and making the catch is Hernandez.
Man, Hernandez, the big panda down there. Instead of playing third, playing first.
Yeah, to battle the sun there.
It was a stellar play.
Found a way to bring it in, and there are 2 out. And that'll bring up Elian Polanco, the catcher. 1 for 3 on the day with a single back in the 4th. That pitch up high. Colin Bradley came in relief of Segura back in the 5th inning. Throws a strike there.
Yeah, and Polanco he was robbed, I should say, by Bradley, who made that leaping, almost Lenny Poffo, old school WWF catch right there between his legs. That was amazing.
Swing and a miss. Jack Jones got excited there. Thought that was strike 3.
Had that strike 3 feel to it, where everybody reacted.
It was a nice pitch. 1-2 is the count on Polanco. That one's fouled back to the screen. We'll do it again. Got pumped on the strike 2.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough.
Got to be careful of that baseball karma.
Yeah,
that's when you get a little too excited prematurely, and then the next thing you know, ball goes somewhere.
Here's the 1-2. That one's chopped back to the mound. A little bit easier this time for Bradley than that great catch before, and that'll end the top half of the 7th inning. The home run by Anglem gives the Lions another run back. It is 12-8 Buccaneers as we stretch here at Sandcastle Stadium. Head to the bottom of the 7th, 12-8 Bucks on BFA Sports. Welcome back to Sandcastle Stadium. Vin Ebenu, Doug Stasic with you as we enter into the bottom half of the 7th inning. Buccaneers leading 12-8. Coming on, the Lions have you got a run back in the top of the inning on a home run by Jack Anglem. Mo Antonicello will lead off the bottom half of the 7th for the Buccaneers as Connor Egan enters into his second inning of work for the Lions. It'll be Antonicello, Kennison, and then the top of the order with Kevin Foreman here in the bottom half of the 7th. Antonicello reached twice today, including on an error, and then struck out in his last at-bat. And looks at ball one there. 1-0 outside. Doug, I see you got the snow hat on in between innings there.
Yeah, well, when you have a ball dome like I do, it's amazing. The sun fades, and they often say, you're.
There's a ground ball to third. Miller struggles with it. It'll give Foreman a tough time to reach on an infield single. Check that, Antonicello.
Well, just as I said, man, sometimes the sun fades. You need something to kind of keep you warm, and when you got a lineup that's been as hot today as Atlantic Cape, it's easy to keep things motoring. Antonicello, he just jumped all over it.
Had the wheels going in after drive there. So 1 on, and that'll bring up Isaiah Kennison. High pop-up. A lot of hang time on that one for Miller over at third. Gets underneath it, makes the catch, 1 away. Doug, it's hang time like that gives punters in the NFL a job.
Yeah. that right there, I think we actually saw him call for the fair catch over at third.
Got it. It would have been even funnier if he would have ran it back now. Oh, goodness. 1 on, 1 out here on the bottom of the 7th. And that will bring up Kevin Foreman. 1 for 4 on the day. The last at bat in the 6th. Had an RBI double and ended up coming around to score. Runner goes, throw to second, and in there is Antonicello.
Aggressive base running. I feel like I've said this at least 6 or 7 times today, but they just keep applying the pressure. Good job by Atlantic Cape. Good fundamental baseball.
The lead has shrinked at times throughout this game for the Buccaneers, but they've never wavered it. They've led since early in the game. And a check-off play to second base. Antonicello gets back there safely. One out here in the bottom half of the 7th. Antonicello leads off at second base. Foreman on deck. Egan checks the runner, now delivers. There's a bunt. Antonicello will safely go to third without a throw on the sacrifice bunt by Kevin Foreman.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that makes Kevin Foreman, just an outstanding all-around ball player, something that every coach wants on their squad. I mean, he just gets it through and through. Tremendous baseball IQ, tremendous baseball skill set. Willing to take the bat out of his own hand any day of the week if it's for his team.
And that'll bring up Luis Sari here with 2 out. Checks his swing. Did he go?
I guess they're going to say no.
He's not. All right. Well, we got a runner on third, bottom of the 7th, 2 outs. Buccaneers leading 12-8. The runner on third, Antonicello. Here's the pitch. That's a high pop-up off first base, and will it make the seats? It'll stay in play.
Wow.
And reaching back over to make the catch is Jack Anglem. So that'll end things here in the bottom half of the 7th. They get some action going with Antonicello, steals a couple bases, but that'll end the thread here in the bottom of the 7th. 12-8 Buccaneers as we head to the 8th on BFA Sports. Welcome back to Sandcastle Stadium. Vin Ebenu, Doug Stasic with you here, and we thank you for joining us this afternoon on BFA Sports, where the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers lead the Raritan Valley Lions 12-8 as we enter the top of the 8th. And Odani Nicasio leading off for the Lions. He struck out swinging in the 2nd inning, reached in the 4th and in the 6th, and scored a run in that last at-bat as he lines one to first here off the glove of Hernandez, and he'll reach.
It's one of those tough situations, man, where you're calling the game. Do you put it in the book as a hit, or do you put it in the book as the E?
That's a good question. That was hit hard.
It was.
It's a tough call. We'll have to think about that one.
Well, the home team keeps a scorebook, so we might have to check in on that one of how it was scored between innings.
See if it's a little home cooking.
A little toss up there.
That'll bring up Nick DiStefano here with 1 on. DiStefano, 3 for 4. And he chops that one to third. Let's see if they can turn 2. There's one on to first. Just a bit wide. Hernandez pulled off the bag there. And now he's called out.
Called out. Must have ran inside the bag. Got a piece of the runner. We'll kind of see if we'd slow it down here.
What happened?
I guess he was running on the inside of the bag, so a good call. Heads up there by the officiating crew.
So we'll call it a 5 or a 3. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Kevin Cruz, the hitter, homered in the 1st, struck out in the 2nd, flew out to center field in the 4th, had an RBI single in the 6th. 2-0 on Cruz with the center fielder Timmy Wright waiting on deck. That one's up high. Cruz had to duck out of the way. Bradley came on in relief of Segura back in the 5th inning. Here's the 3-0 in there for a strike. Lions down by 4 here in the 8th, looking to get back in it with time running out. And that one's outside. Cruz will take the base.
shadows wreaking havoc in more ways than one here in Atlantic City. You see some of the cameras on the fly making a little bit of an adjustment. That shadow now, Vin, has creeped almost to the pitcher's mound. There's a good look at it from up at top. So you're looking at shadows if you're a hitter right now.
Definitely seeing things a little bit differently than we were even an hour ago. There's a strike. Timmy Wright walked in the first, reached again in his next 2 appearances, and then flew out to center in the 6th. Watches that breaking ball go low and away. Both teams entered into today looking for their first victory of the season. Buccaneers holding on to a 12-8 lead here in the 8th. Lions have come back a couple times. There's a strike and closed in on that lead, but the Buccaneers have prevailed so far. No matter how big or small the lead was, Buccaneers have had the lead for most of the game now. As that swung on and missed, strike 3.
Well, that's one way if you're Colin Bradley to get out of Dodge. Some good defense, some good pitching with a
little help with a double play there, as it turns out. It is 12-8 Buccaneers as we head towards the bottom half of the 8th inning on BFA Sports. Welcome back to Sandcastle Stadium. Vin Ebenu, Doug Stasic with you. Thank you for joining us on a Monday afternoon, the first full day of spring here in 2022. And here at Sandcastle Stadium, the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers lead the Raritan Valley Lions 12-8 as we head into the bottom of the 8th, with the first baseman Omar Hernandez leading off. And he takes one outside, ball 1. Hernandez on the day. Walked in his last at bat and scored. Before that, flew out to right as he takes ball 2 there. Struck out in the second and came around to score back in the first inning after reaching on a hit. 2-0. That one's inside, but it clips the inside part of the plate. 2-1 to Hernandez.
Well, speaking of Hernandez, Vin, it's just like the NCAA bracket sheet, right? Some guys only do one, some guys do multiple ones.
As Hernandez grounds that one to second base, one away.
Mike Golick and Mike Greenberg used to call it their sheet of integrity. You do
yeah?
one sheet, right?
Yep.
So the scorebook of integrity over at Atlantic Cape dugout. So the home team keeps the dugout, asks the question, beginning of that inning.
Okay.
Was Nicasio a hit or an error?
Right.
Atlantic Cape charged their own guy with an error. You just don't see that every day.
The honesty system. Sometimes, not the honesty, that favors you, with the error there. But honesty nonetheless, truthful. I was leaning towards error on that one, but it's hard. It was a close call. Could have been given a hit under the right circumstances, I guess. One out here in the bottom of the 8th. And there's a strike. It's 1-1 on Justin Monero. Reached a couple times today. And sandwiched in between that was a liner to second and a grounder to third. There's strike two.
Must really still be sunny out at shortstop today. As the Atlantic Cape's own Louis Sari, fresh off the home run, still wearing shades, celebrating.
2-2.
In fairness to him,
Chopped
it is still pretty sunny out there at shortstop, as we can kind of see from back here. So,
oh, yeah.
So now that shade line has just cut the mound in half. But in fairness to Louis Sari, I guess he still has a viable reason to wear those sunglasses.
Timmy Wright, the center fielder for the Lions, just adjusted his sunglasses out there. There's a sharp hopper to second base, and there's two away here in the bottom of the eighth.
Oh, seeing some good defense by both clubs. I mean, there was a little shaky inning here and there, but that is a nice backhand play. Those have been
DeStefano busy this inning.
Whew.
2 out, and that'll bring up Omar Louise. His second at bat, he had pinch hit for Dante DePalma back in the sixth. Buccaneers have a 12-8 lead here in the bottom of the eighth. That one's outside.
Some good perspective on the shading there is kind of put a little light on the situation.
Yeah. That one's chopped foul at the plate, 1-1.
Luis has spent a lot of his off seasons in his family's native country, the Dominican Republic. So no surprise, he's a big David Ortiz fan.
Okay.
I've seen him out in Millville. He used to play some left field out there for Coach Roy Hallenbeck.
There's a strike. He almost got the Ortiz stance a little bit there.
Yeah.
It's from the left side. I mean, that's the same thing in common.
Oh, he's got a big lower half. This kid has some natural strength. Good pop in his bat.
That one hit him.
Well, that's the kind of thing where he wants to still swing. He's like, man, let me get back in there, just call a ball or whatever you need to do, but I want to swing.
You want to get that hit to get on base. You don't want to get hit.
Yeah.
2 outs, and Louise on first. That'll bring up Nate Goodrich.
Back-to-back lefties.
See if the Buccaneers can expand their lead here in the bottom of the eighth with 2 out. Goodrich has reached a couple times. He scored on those first 2. He struck out in the 5th and was hit by pitch in his last plate appearance. Looking to see if he could move over Omar Louise. The 1-0 up high. You know, even though the shadows have crept over home plate and most of the infield here, Doug, I mean, the breeze has died down a little bit.
Yeah, without question.
It's a little chilly behind home plate, but, I mean, there's not as much of a breeze anymore as that one's in the dirt.
Well, the other day when we talked on the phone, Ben, I did warn you that once the sun goes down,
yes,
you're going to feel as if you're in like a whole different day. The weather just changes that much.
They're like, bring the sweatshirt just in case. So I came prepared, you know, warm enough to sit it out in the sun, and once that clouds came in as Goodrich walks on 4 pitches here in the 8th.
Yeah, this is a beautiful day, though. I mean, Atlantic Cape, we talked about it in the beginning of the broadcast, haven't had a lot of cooperation with Mother Nature as she remains undefeated, even though they're looking for their first win. But nice to get a ball game in, and has been very nice today.
Yeah, we'll take it. Hey, you know, sunny skies, 60s, and it'll get even warmer soon enough. You know, we'll hit that 70 mark. We hit that on Friday, though. It was nice. After it rained Thursday and it canceled this game, it was nice on Friday.
Oh,
There's a strike.
Couldn't win with the schedule.
Oh, goodness. A crazy winter, too.
Yeah.
Well, that's over. Up and down temperatures. A lot of snow, depending on where you're at, especially here in Atlantic County. 0-1 the count, and that's swung on a miss. 0-2 to Jack Jones. Jones struck out swinging his last 2 at-bats before that he was hit by a pitch and scored. And way back in the first inning, had an RBI single and was stranded to end the inning. That one's outside, 1-2.
Speaking of more Atlantic Cape Buccaneer baseball, back here on Wednesday is a host Williamson College. Scheduled for a 3:30 first pitch, like this one today, but I think it started a couple minutes early.
They want to get this one in. That one's low.
I was talking to Von Horn before the game, and I said, hey, what kind of ride is that back to Raritan? He's like, if it's a good time of day, about 2 hours and 20, 2 hours and 30 minutes. So maybe they were trying to give them those extra 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a drive up there. 2 on, 2 out. And the 2-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner, then that'll end the inning. 12-8, the Buccaneers lead. We go to the top of the 9th as the Buccaneers look to wrap up win number 1 on BFA Sports. Welcome back to Sandcastle Stadium. Vin Avenue, Doug Stasic with you here in the top of the 9th as the Buccaneers lead 12-8, looking to wrap up their first victory of the season. And the pitch outside, first pitch of the 9th inning to Chris Miller, ball 1. And we've got a new pitcher on the mound as well. And that one swung on a miss. 1-1 the count. That one's up high. Trying to ID the
Peter Calandra.
Okay. I was looking on the roster. I was looking for 45.
Yep, Peter Calandra is who we have on our roster. But, we were talking about scorebooks and sheets of integrity and all that stuff. But then you got to remember, the coach has the final vote. And so Coach Rodney Velarde said, no, that goes down as a hit. So not a charged error.
Swung on and hit in the air to left field. And calls it a fair ball. Or did he? No, he called it foul. It sounded like Mark Rohn said fair from up here.
It did sound like he said fair, but here's what I'll tell you, right?
It looked like it went foul, but he said fair.
So rule of thumb, and this is from my coaching days, and it's hard sometimes to think of it this way, but an umpire never calls fair ball. They always call foul. They'll just point.
Oh, there you go.
If it's fair, there's a point. And I was like, wait a second. I'm like, it makes a whole lot of sense because you think like, well, if the ball is hit into left field and it's blatantly obvious the ball's in play, you don't hear him say, fair ball.
Well, that's a good point. I saw him put his hands up. Well, I'm like, but I could have swore I heard him say fair.
Yeah, it did. From up here, it did sound that way, but
goodness.
that's the best way I can explain it. So I would always tell the kids.
It makes sense, though.
Yeah, the kids when they're playing for him, like, listen, umpire's never going to yell fair, so just run until they tell you not to, or you hear something, but they're not going to yell fair ball. And that actually happened to me when I was coaching Little League, like way back in the day. And the umpire just looked at me and he goes, "Since when do you hear an umpire yell fair ball?" And I go, "All right, you got me.
Valiant point.
That's a good point. So lesson learned, and I've applied it ever since."
Well, there we go.
The only time an umpire's ever been right in my book.
0-1 on Beresny. That one's back toward the sweet level here at Sandcastle Stadium. Nothing until. Always sage advice. Try to bestow some wisdom onto the youth playing Little League and baseball players today. Kind of dug shaping young minds here.
Yeah, hey. Wherever I can help. Giving back to the kids. That's all it's about, Vin. Give back to the kids.
0-2 on Beresny here in the top of the ninth. And that one's in the dirt. Throw to first. And Miller jumps back. That didn't come out of his hand okay.
He didn't.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the way he gripped it thrown to the plate.
Yeah, and even the base runner, he's grabbing his shoulder.
Well, that too.
I think he landed on that kind of awkward. Seems to be all right, though. And Miller.
1-2 count on Eli Beresny. There's a chopper to short. Sorry. Fields throws the second one. And they can't make it. Out. The umpire rules him out. Miller on the throw to second, so we got one out there, and it'll be a fielder's choice.
The Buccaneer dugout trying to make their cause for being on the debate team as they were playfully arguing that the base runner was out of the baseline, therefore that would be an out at first base as well, but that wasn't even a consideration.
Well, give him an effort for trying. A for effort. As that one's in on Anglin. Anglin had a homer his last at bat in the 7th inning. He also walked today, grounded out to short. Actually walked in his first at bat as well back in the 2nd inning, and then came around to score. 1-0 inside.
Foul ball,
All
actually, was the reiteration there by home plate umpire.
Why not? 1-1. That one's flown out of play. Onto the roof. You're saying that will bounce back in. Right into the sweet level there. Nice souvenir.
Yeah, we just need a ladder, some keys. We'll get that.
One out, one on here in the top of the 9th. He was tempted. Tempted to swing, tempted to called the ball. We got ourselves a 2-2 count. Or does Jack Englum? 1 on, 1 out here in the top of the 9th. Beresny leads off first. Will Angel Rodriguez on deck. That one's outside. Three and 2 on Anglum. Runner on first, 1 out. Buccaneers looking to wrap up win number 1. That one outside. Buccaneers dugout didn't like that. Jack Jones tried to frame it in there, and it looks like it just missed, according to the call. So 2 on, 1 out. And that'll bring up Angel Rodriguez. The tying run, Elian Polanco on deck. That one's pop foul. And into the seats, 0-1. It'll be an 0-1 to Rodriguez. That one's hit high in the air, deep into center field, but getting underneath it to make the catch is Foreman for the second out. Lions down to their final out. Elian Polanco, the catcher, grounded to third, hit a single, grounded back to the mound twice. Ground ball would almost surely end the game here. Pitch to Polanco. Outside corner, strike one. Ground ball to third, into left field for a base hit. And being down by 4 with 2 outs in the ninth, third base coach for the Lions as Berezny hold up at third. So bases loaded for Odani Nicasio, the number 9 hole hitter.
Things just got interesting, Vin.
Indeed. The tying run is at the plate. Nicasio struck out today. Reached on a hit. Scored a run back in the 6th inning. And there's a strike.
Good-looking pitch. It's been a very entertaining baseball game this afternoon in Atlantic City.
Indeed. A lot of runs, a lot of stolen bases, a lot of running around. Some pressure-filled moments.
And looks like we got a pinch runner, perhaps. See if we can
number 2.
Yep, number 2. Get a shot of the pinch runner.
There's Jeff Latham pinch running at first. 0-1 the count on Nicasio.
Good
pitch inside, strike 2. Lions down to their final strike.
Yeah, ice in his veins on that one.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. 0-2 the count. Buccaneers lead 12-8, looking for win number 1. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ball game over, and the Buccaneers get win number 1 in the books, 12-8.
Big time out in a big time spot. No pressure, bases loaded. That's exactly what you want from your relief pitcher. And more importantly for the Buccaneers, win number 1 early in the season, and they're hoping that they can leverage this momentum for a few more.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, getting the first win out of the way feels so good. I think it takes the pressure off after chasing that first win after these games. And it's, at some point you get to like, okay, you're doing too much, overdoing something and then making silly mistakes in the field. But Buccaneers, I think the key to this game was their base running ability, their heads-up base running, running on the overthrows, stealing bases, getting inside the Lions pitcher's head, and really creating havoc on the bases, and that's what led to a lot of runs. There was that one inning back in the third, Doug, where Atlantic Cape scored 4 runs in the third without recording a hit. A couple errors in there, a hit by pitch, sacrifice fly. So they managed to play the small ball really well, and it helped bring them their first win.
Yeah, across the board, you got to take advantage when you have guys on base, figure out a way to get them home. We've seen solo home runs. We saw guys drop sacrifice bunts to move guys around, back-to-back doubles, timely hitting, and very aggressive base running by Atlantic Cape. That was the winning recipe for today's contest. So we're back for more baseball on Wednesday.
Yeah, this was fun.
Hey, entertaining. That's what you want in the spring, especially early on. Get to know your opponents just a little bit more. Won't see Raritan Valley again on the schedule unless things come into play from a playoff standpoint. But
you never know.
Buccaneers had a pretty stacked deck early in the season with a game scheduled against Rowan College of South Jersey, Gloucester, Rowan of South Jersey, Cumberland, you name it. So this is going to be a good one. So a lot of good, positive vibes in that huddle right now for Coach Velarde, Ball, and the rest of the crew.
And it's going to make them feel good. Win number 1 in the books for the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers. Thank you for joining us this Monday afternoon on BFA Sports. For Doug Stasic and the rest of our crew, I'm Vin Ebenu saying so long and have a great night. Buccaneers win 12-8 over the Raritan Valley Lions.